January has always been historically the worst month for VR game releases, plus a lot of people are still recovering financially from mad Christmas spending. But in today's video, we're still going to be taking a look at everything that's coming out this month for VR. So before we get going, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and get subscribed for more VR content. EXOSHOCK has just launched its second public alpha, and this is going to be open until the 5th of January and playable on PCVR and MetaQuest. If you played the last alpha, you'll notice there's been a ton of changes, including the excellent new railgun, post-mission player data, new AI improvements, and much more. I'll leave a link to the developers Discord in this video description so you can jump in after this video is finished and check it out yourself. Dread Meridian is coming to PCVR and MetaQuest and is a survival horror adventure. You play a character called Daniela hunting for her lost twin sister through a game filled with betrayal and madness. You must scavenge ammo, customize guns, and attack mutants armed only with a knife. It also appears to be a bit of a cryptic puzzler, and alongside the single player campaign mode, there's also going to be a 4-player asymmetrical multiplayer mode where the humans raid the enemy's nests and then fight to extract with whatever loot they can get their hands on. Fixer Undercover is coming to MetaQuest and PCVR and is a VR puzzle adventure where you play as Agent 404, posing as a prison handyman to expose Warden Kozlov's mind control scheme, using tools like screwdrivers, grinders and hammers, all with realistic physics and haptics to solve environmental puzzles, cut through vents, rewire locks and improvise escape plans. Your drone companion Winston is used as a scout, but he can also hack terminals for you. It's currently stated to have 7 chapters in the single player campaign mode, and apparently there's a demo available for you to check out chapter 1 right now on the Quest store. If you have already played the demo of this game, let me and others know your thoughts on it down in the comments. FA18 Pilot Simulator is a realistic VR flight sim coming to MetaQuest this month from developers Taz Systems Corp. Now these are the guys who brought us the pretty good Flying Aces, but the very underwhelming Flight Unlimited only last month to Quest. So I'm a little bit on the fence regarding this game, and there's also currently no official trailer, but I did find this gameplay and some screenshots. In FA18 Pilot Simulator, you obviously get to pilot an FA18 Super Hornet with a fully interactive cockpit using touch controls, and the entire focus appears to be all about mastering this plane's flight systems, and it appears landing approaches on aircraft carriers over dynamic oceans. There's no story or combat apparently in the game, but it is priced only at $7, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this one turns out. Raceclub VR is trying to bring a realistic VR racing sim to the Quest. You get to drive Formula V12 cars and electric cars on multiple tracks with authentic physics and precise handling. There's no campaign story, just racing, lap times and speed challenges, but there is a multiplayer mode planned later on in the year. Skyleap is a single player VR parkour action game coming to MetaQuest and PSVR2 from developers EXOSHOCK. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but that was my best attempt. But these are the guys who brought us Exo Cars, Omega Pilot and Z-Race, if you can remember that far back in VR. But in Skyleap, you climb endlessly higher using jumps, grapple hooks and telekinesis to dodge obstacles, shoot mid-air and then chain fluid combos while traversing these massive skyscrapers. This game is all about focusing on speed, reflexes, upgrades and customization along with critical timing, and it's priced at $9, and there's actually no info on any of the developers' social media, but it is listed on the stores and apparently is happening this month. Next up we have a game called Void Jump, which immediately makes me feel the last 5 or 6 years in VR haven't happened, and is a single player VR precision platformer only coming to PCVR. You have to leap across floating and disappearing platforms in a sci-fi abyss, and then you get to use abilities like time freeze, shields and test cubes for safe jumps. Collect stars and unlock levels, worlds, skins, and then you get to race to get the best personal times. Now to be completely honest, this is something I will not be playing because it honestly looks like so many other games we've had over the years, but if you are interested, there is a free demo available right now on the Steam store. So now we get into the VR games that actually have official release dates, starting with Puzzles of the World, and this releases in early access January 8th and is priced at $18 and is exclusive to MetaQuest 3 and Quest 3S. It's a single player VR puzzle game where you piece together 3D miniatures of real world landmarks like Kyoto's Yasaka Pagoda and Venice canals using hand interactions, but you also get to explore immersive environments. You can learn facts about the places you're visiting, customize ambient soundscapes and relax in cozy settings. things. On January the 15th, we have Catana Red Flowers, priced at $10 from Joyway, makers of Stride and Stride Fates, and is a single-player VR action platformer that currently seems to be only available on the Quest. You play as a ninja cat, wielding a katana, and manage a restaurant called Red Flowers. By day, you'll cook, serve guests, and play chaotic minigames, but by night, you turn into a ninja and you'll be doing lots of rooftop parkour, katana combat, bullet deflection in endless runs and speed challenges featuring procedurally generated levels with resource management and progression. Again, this is not really a game I think I'll be playing personally, but there is also again a demo available right now on the MetaQuest store if you're interested. On January the 19th, we get Ghost Cam for PCVR and MetaQuest. This is a single-player VR psychological horror that can also be played on a flat screen if you buy it on PC. And you take on the role of a paranormal photographer. You get to explore liminal spaces with a Polaroid camera to capture spirits, solve escape room puzzles, and uncover a 70s, 80s mystery. Your choices lead to multiple endings and therefore give people some replayability. And again, apparently there's another free demo already available on the Steam store. On January the 22nd, Orcs Must Die by the Blade is a VR action tower defense game coming to Quest, priced at $18, where you play as a war mage and you have to defend Stormwreck Island from orc hordes across 12 missions over 3 chapters. There's a solo mode and 2-player co-op. The weapons apparently all have some sort of physicality and good physics. You get to place traps, upgrade these traps for chain reactions, block attacks, and basically fight waves of orcs that want to hunt you down. Also on January the 22nd, we get Salmon Man. This is coming to PCVR and MetaQuest. It is a hardcore VR rage platformer in the vein of games like Getting Over It. In Salmon Man, you embody a half-man, half-salmon person wielding a dual-handed paddle to climb treacherous upstream rivers through physics-driven obstacles, waterfalls, and absurd worlds. And just like Getting Over It, this would be one of those brutal tests of your precision, patience, and sanity, because there is no checkpoints, and one slip could reset all your progress. Games like this are definitely not for everyone, but I actually do have a love-hate relationship with them, so I'll probably be giving this one a go, but I don't know if I'll be making a review for it. And finally, on January the 29th, we have Pirates VR Jolly Roger, and this is now coming exclusively to Quest 3 and Quest 3S after being already available on PCVR and PSVR2, and is best described as a very average single-player VR action adventure, which skips the best bits about being a pirate like treasure hunting and sailing the 7 seas, but instead you explore a cursed Caribbean island, climb cliffs, swim through caverns, solve very basic puzzles, and fight undead pirates with pistols and swords. But as I remember, this was a very brief part of the game, but I did think it looked quite good. On this journey, you'll also be guided by a sarcastic parrot, which is arguably one of the highlights of the game, in pursuit of Davy Jones's treasure. Now, as far as I remember, this game only lasts a few hours, and in fairness, it does have some great ideas, but it does feel not fully explored. And I imagine the Quest version might end up being the worst graphical version of the bunch, but we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. And if you're curious about this game and want to see my full review, I'll leave a link to that video in this video's description. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I wish you all the best for the new year, and I'll see you all in the next one.